Hey Tube, welcome back. Today I have this problem. It's called length of last word. It's say that given a string s, considering of words and spaces, return the length of the last word in the string. So we have this string called hello world. We return the length of word. We have this string is fly me to the moon. However, we have two spaces, but we don't care. We just get the length of the moon. We have joy boy. We return the length of joy boy. It's a pretty easy, pretty straightforward problem. But let's just talk about where the tricks live and how can we solve them. So let's just start to talk about one of the trick cases, and this is one of them. So we wanna first of all we wanna get the starting point of the last word, because for this one we have a space, one space. So we want to first to get the first index or the starting point of uh, of um, of the last word and the end point of the last word, and we just to get the length of it by getting the starting and the end. So what we should do that first of all, we could create a length variable that will be 0. Okay, and let's just keep this in your mind. However, we first of all want to start to know the starting point of the last element of the last word. So we create a while loop, and this while loop will only know the will keep looping until we reach the first non-space character. So for this one we looped twice. So first of all we said that, okay, if this character is a space, yes, okay, so let's say that we will have an index will be the p, and this p will equals s dot length minus 1. So p it's represented the last index, and if this p equals, if the index of p it equals space, we'll take 1 again from p. So right now p will start from here, and right now p is not non-string, non-space character. So we start from n, and we do another loop to loop from n to the first space when we find the first space. And one when each other, like for n, like we create 1 plus, we have o plus, we have o again, so plus 1, we have m plus 1. When we have a space we stop, we don't add anything, so we have 4. So the thing that we will have two variables. One is getting us um, uh, the first character to try to loop in, and the other one will be the length that we are trying to return. So let's just try to solve this problem. So I'll just let p equals is the length minus 1. Okay, and I'll make for loop while, sorry, I will make a while loop, and I will say while p is bigger than or equals 0. And I guess there's something else. Yeah, and also the more important is the character at p is not doesn't equals is equals space. And if this is right, I'll just p minus minus. And when we finish that, for this one we're just trying to get the starting point of our string. But right now I guess we know the starting point by getting the value of p. So we will try to have length, let length to equal 0, and I will return this one. I will return length. And what I'm thinking about that, we could create another while loop that when will p is bigger than or equals 0 also, and the s of character b doesn't equal space. And I will say first of all b minus minus and length plus plus. It's a pretty straightforward. Let's just submit later. So let's know how this worked. So let's just take this as an example. So we have this one, it's called fly me to the moon, and we have we have this string. So first of all, we want to know our starting point, because we can start from the end, because the end is a space, because and we trying to find the last non-space word. So first of all, we want to know the starting point of our string. So because of that, we're doing this loop. So we have p, and this p represents the starting point, and we assume the starting point will be the last element. So we start from the last element. So we'll make a loop. We'll say that, okay, if the last element of the index of p, the character at the p position, is equals space, okay, take one from p. So right now p will be here. So I will say that, okay, while p bigger than 0 and yes, and is the character p doesn't equal space, but p doesn't equal space. So this while loop ends, and we are in the moon. So we start to create a length variable, and while we're creating the length variable, and we return it, because this length will represent the length of the last word. So we create a while loop, and while we're creating this while loop, we'll say, okay, let's do this while loop, and I will say, okay, so first of all, I take one from p, because I wanna go, I wanna continue looping through the next characters, and I will increase the length by 1. And the while loop has two conditions: while b is bigger than 0 or equals than 0, and the character at b doesn't equals space. So we continue looping until we reach this space, this space. We will end the loop. So we will have we will start and this end, so we'll increase the length by 1, and the length will be 1. We will take one from p, so right now we will be here. So we will take the length by take one from we will take one from b and increase the length by 1, so it will be 2. The length will be 2, and we'll take one from p. So right now we'll be here, so we will take one from b and we increase the length. So right now we have 3, and also for m. So right now we will end with 4, and by that, like, just when we reach the space, this while loop ends, and we return the length. And it's a pretty easy, pretty straightforward one, but you just have to keep in mind that you just break the problem into small chunks to try to solve them. So that's it for today's video, and I hope my solution was quite good. And I'm saying again, if you have any problem with the sound, because some of you guys say that my voice was too low. My voice now, if my voice right now sounds clear, just feel free to comment to me and tell me, yeah, this sounds is way more clear, or like it's way more loud, because my sound before was too low. So right now I'm trying to increase my voice, because sorry, I didn't used to increase my voice that much. So that's it for this video, and I hope I hope that I hope that my solution was quite good, and see you in future problems.